and welcome to my channel, Melody Joy Quilts. I am your host, Melody Joy, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a king's crown block. Now, I am using all fall themed, pumpkin themed, Halloween, and because I live in Texas and fall and football go hand in hand, a little bit of UT pet fabric. It's orange and black, so it also goes with the Halloween theme, right? Okay, for this block, you are going to need a 6.5 inch focus fabric square, a 7 1/4 inch for your flying geese, 4 background squares that are 3 7/8 inches, and 4 squares for your corners in an accent color that are 3.5 inch squares. Now, you don't have to remember all of those. I'm going to put a link in the description to the pattern, so you do not have to memorize the numbers that I just told you. Now, we're going to do 4 at a time flying geese. If you've never done them, they're fun. It feels almost like a little magic trick because it seems like this should absolutely not work. And when it works, it's just the coolest thing. So you're going to take your background squares. You're going to take your 7 1/4 inch square that is for your flying geese and 2 of your background squares. You're going to lay your squares in this pattern, right sides together, okay? Lining them up on the corners. The next thing you're going to do is take a ruler. You're going to lay that ruler from corner to corner. And you're going to draw a light pencil line. You could also use a friction pen, but just draw a light line from corner to corner. Take this carefully over to your machine. If you need to pin it, go ahead and pin it. I am going to run a 1/4 inch seam down either side of my drawn pencil line. When you get to the end, I'm just going to slip a little piece of fabric under my needle so it doesn't come unthreaded. And I'm going to turn this around and come back, doing a 1/4 inch away from my center line down the other side. Okay, so you should end up with a block that looks like this. Now, I'm sure you're thinking, I don't know how you're going to get flying geese out of this unless you've seen this trick before. And I do say trick because it feels like a trick to me. It just feels like this should not work. And when it works, it's just so fun. So take your ruler and lay it down, and you're going to cut right along the line that you drew earlier. Let's iron this. We are going to iron this. We're going to open these little triangles up and we're going to iron them towards the background fabric. So you're going to press your seams down towards the background fabric. You should end up with a little unit that looks like this. Okay? We're going to do that twice. So same thing with the other side. Iron to press your seam and then fold this open and iron it down. Okay. You should now have 2 units that look like this. Yours might be a different color. We're going to lay this down. We're going to take our other background square. We're going to lay it down in this the corner that doesn't have anything on it yet. We're going to lay it down in this corner. Just take a second and line your edges up. Grab your small ruler and lay it from corner to corner. And we're just going to draw a light pencil line. Okay, I am now going to sew a 1/4 inch seam alongside that center line. So not on the line, but a 1/4 inch away from the line. I need to mark my other side. So again, same thing. Take your little square, lay it down, lining up your edges, and draw a line from corner to corner. So a 1/4 inch away from the line. The great thing about doing flying geese this way is this is a no waste method for flying geese. You don't have to cut off anything from a snowballed corner, so it ends up really being fabric friendly. You're not wasting much fabric at all. Okay, I now need to repeat this by sewing a 1/4 inch down the other side. Okay, one more time, same thing. I just really feel like this is like a magic trick. It feels like that to me. I know it's not, but whoever came up with this method, I don't know how they came up with it because it just doesn't feel like it's gonna work, and then it works, and it's just so fun. And I love when quilting is fun. I love when it's surprising. I love when you learn a new skill and it's just fun. Okay, I'm gonna iron to press my seams, and then I need to cut these open. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this large ruler, I'm gonna lay it down on the line that we drew earlier, and we need to trim right along that line. Okay, so now your unit should look like this. We're gonna need to press that in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and cut my other side. Okay, are you ready for the reveal? Maybe you've seen this trick before, but if you haven't, it's kind of fun. Even if you have seen it before, I still think it's fun. Okay, iron to press your seam. You're gonna lift this corner open, iron it away, and look at that. You just made a flying geese. How easy was that? So easy. Okay, we're gonna do the other. We're gonna iron all of these, and you should end up with 4 flying geese. Now, you will need to go ahead and trim off your little dog ears. You do have a dog ear. There's 3 dog ears, so you're just gonna need to snip those off. What did you think? Did you like my little magic trick? Have you seen it before? Do you have a different method you like for flying geese? One of the things that I've been really loving about quilting is that there's so many methods. There's a lot of basic shapes in quilting that you see over and over again, but people get there different ways. And I think that's just really fun. Okay, I'm gonna trim off these dog ears. So I'm just gonna lay my ruler down here and just snip them off. Does it ever make you nervous when you see other people cutting? I always get nervous when I see other people cutting because it just looks like they're gonna cut themselves. So I don't know if I look like I'm about to cut myself. I'm gonna try. I haven't yet, but I always, when I'm watching other people quilt on YouTube, I always think, are they gonna cut their hand off? Okay, all I'm doing right now is snipping off these little edges. Okay. I'm gonna just do that in all these blocks. Just get these little dog ears off of there. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Then we can lay our block out. And now, if you don't want to use your rotary cutter for this, you absolutely don't have to. You could just use scissors. And in fact, arguably, scissors might even be faster. But you can do, there's more than one way to get there. And you probably have a favorite method. Or maybe you're new and you don't have a favorite method yet. Okay, I'm gonna take my center block. I'm gonna lay it in the center. I am gonna put all of these flying geese to make a diamond. This black is gonna make a diamond around my center block here. Okay, and then I'm gonna lay in my 4 corners. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and sew these rows together. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this center block and I'm gonna flip it over this way. And then I'm gonna take it to my machine. I'm gonna sew a 1/4 inch seam down this side. I'm gonna flip this block over and do the same thing all the way down the row. What's your favorite holiday to quilt for? I think mine is Christmas just because I love the Christmas fabrics. I love red, green, gold. I like quilting for babies. I like quilting for my nieces and I haven't really done much for my nephews. I guess I like the girly colors. One more. My house feels unnaturally quiet today. All three of my kiddos are back in school this week, and the house feels eerily quiet. My kids are 12, 9, and 7, and normally there's always a low-level roar in the house, which is why in a lot of my videos I just do voiceovers, because if the kids are in the house, if my husband's in the house, if we're dog sitting, because we do that a lot too, there's just usually a lot of chaos in the background. It's very weird right now that I don't hear a lot of noise. You're going to iron each of these pieces towards the square. So iron them all away from the flying geese. Okay, we need to go ahead and add in our last couple squares. So I'm going to just get this back how it was. And we're going to take this next one and fold it over, right sides together. So I'm just going to flip this over on here, lay it on there. And again, we're going to sew with a 1/4 inch seam down the side, right sides together. We're going to iron all of these towards the squares. Okay. So now we just need to put our block together. Now your seams should nest because of how we did this earlier. Your seams should nest. I'm going to put a clip here, and I'm going to put a clip on this other end once I have the seams nested up nicely. Okay. All right. Let's sew these together. And then, all right, we have to also add this other side on here. So I'm just going to add this other side here and nest up the seams, add a little clip to the other side as well, nest it up. Not quite wanting to go. Just make sure it's on there as nicely as possible. And clip. And clip here. Okay, I'm going to sew this together. We're going to check and see how we did. Okay, I'm now going to iron to set these seams, and then I'm going to open it up. I hope you had fun today. I hope you learned something. I hope you liked my little magic trick. So I've made a couple of these blocks now. And so you can kind of see as you start to put them together how there's going to be a secondary pattern going on.